Hello, this is Raziel Cohen with ndftraining.com, and today we're going to be looking at the Laser Strike Dryfire kit. So currently my Dryfire setup is a few papers and pieces of cardboard in my basement, and it's just kind of a way to be able to practice basic fundamentals. Now, to kind of recap really quick, Dryfire is an extremely important part of being a competent shooter. The majority of the fundamentals that you're going to practice don't require the gun to actually go off because those fundamentals are not going to be as necessary. For example, stance, grip, sight alignment, sight picture, trigger press, breathing, and follow through are all things that don't actually require you to fire the gun. And those are the actual foundations of you being a good shooter. So Dryfire is something that's often overlooked, but it's also something that could potentially be boring if not done properly. And that's oftentimes what discourages people to be able to do it. Now, something I definitely enjoy doing is using airsoft guns to be able to practice fundamentals. You do have to be very careful when you use airsoft guns because once it turns into like a game, then your seriousness of training drops and then it becomes more of a toy, then it becomes serious use of training. So it is something you have to be careful with, but it is something that's more entertaining than just kind of shooting a regular SIRT pistol. So I have a SIRT pistol over here. It's something that I use quite often to be able to practice your trigger press and be able to get a visual of where you're impacting when you see the laser come out. Now, what Laser Strike did is they kind of took it a step further. They wanted to be able to make it a kind of faster way to be able to identify you that you impacted, as well as also giving you more options of how you could set it up without it being boring and giving you more options of where you could use it and how you could use it. So here comes the Laser Strike system. What it is there's a bunch of different pieces that they offer you. This is one of their kits you're able to get, is a 5-piece actual reflector kits plus stands and other accessories we're going to look at. So let's look at the main thing first. You can see that everything here kind of runs on magnets, which gives you a lot of options of what you're able to use. And this is kind of the heart of the system. So this is pretty much a reflector that has a coating on it that it really lights up when it's impacted with a SIRT pistol or any type of laser. So it's much easier to identify if you actually impacted the target. Now on the back here over here, there's a magnetic area as well. So you can mount this to something like your refrigerator, depending on the limited space that you might have, whether it be in your kitchen or anything like that. It also comes with this little hook over here that I was able to attach and hang it up to on one of my cabinets because the cabinet wasn't magnetic. So you also have like a hanging target. And then it also comes with this stand as well, which just unscrews. And again, the whole thing is magnetic, so I can just unscrew it. And it comes with the screw itself, the plate, and then the actual magnetic portion. So this feeds into this area over here. It screws and tightens down. And then now that this is in place, you just stand it onto any surface that you like and magnetically sticks. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, once you really start like practicing with it, you get an idea of what you like and what you don't like, or if you start getting more competent as a shooter, if you want to make your targets a little bit more unique, they also offer a variety of these different pieces right over here that what they do is they could change the size of your target zone. So for example, if you feel like you're getting very confident and you're either in closer distances or something like that, you can just feed this on right over here. And now it's limiting your actual impact area to make sure you have to be more precise. You could then remove it and you could choose a wider one for a different one if you want to choose different varieties of sizing you want to be able to go to. And it really gives you a lot of different options of how you're able to dry fire and make it a little bit more entertaining. Another thing that comes in this kit is these magnetic strips. So if the area you want to mount it to doesn't have a magnet option, but you want to be able to use it on that area, it comes with kind of a 3M piece of tape that you can just undo, stick to whatever surface you want to be able to use it for. And then now that that has the magnet on it, it'll stick to the back of any of these surfaces to be able to use it as well. So I think this is a very, very cool system. If you want to really upgrade your dry fire practice and make it more entertaining, make it more unique in the different areas and the different ways you're able to mount this system, I think it's a very good option. It does come in a hard carrying case. Again, they have many varieties on their website that you could check out, but it comes on a carrying case. So if you're maybe someone who travels and wants to still be able to practice, whether that be in a hotel or something like that, you bring your SIRT pistol with you, you could have a lot of different options around of how you're able to set this up. The value also is if you use something like a SIRT pistol, there's no noise to it. It's just the click of the trigger. So the value is, unlike an airsoft gun, I can't bring that to a hotel without turning some heads. So that's something you have to be very careful about. So if you set up a SIRT pistol, you can have all this option, still practice all your fundamentals without the worry of there being any noise. You still get visual feedback. I think something that would be really cool in the future if they were to upgrade. I like the fact that there's no batteries. I do like that because it keeps it simple. However, if there would be an option in the future that it also gives you an audible feedback of it being hit I think that would be really cool. But for where they're holding right now, I think this is a very great kit that you can be able to check out. I'm gonna leave some information in the description down below if you'd like to be able to check them out. If you have any questions, if you have anything you'd like me to try out with this setup, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This is Raziel Cohen with ndftraining.com. Thank you for watching.